Welcome, Dr. Divi, to the Spiritual Debate Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
This is, and we spoke about this a little bit earlier, arguably one of the most friction-pointed conversations in maybe all of the spiritual community.
100%.
So first, I would love a window into this belief system. How did you get to this belief system so I can explain how I got to mine?
A long journey.
How much time?
Yeah, exactly. It is really identifying that the thought systems we have, call it the ego, call it fear, don't serve us. Mm-hmm. And so what's behind the ego thought system is the divine. And we're not talking Divi, though that's what my name means. We're not talking Divi. We're talking the I am consciousness. Mm-hmm. That part that is not of the body, it only sits in the now and in the holy instant now, and that essence, that's love. And to be honest, we've all experienced it. Like when we watch a waterfall, when we watch a child, it's like that moment now, we hang out with our dogs. That's that now, and behind that now moment is love.
Did you always hold that perspective or belief?
God, no.
Okay, give me like the holy moment where you realized maybe you weren't living in the now and you got here, where everything was I am the past, and then you became the present. What led you to this ultimate truth?
So I was quite sick when I was in my 20s and 30s, and then did a lot of yoga. And yoga would help, but if I didn't do yoga, then I was sick. So,
whoa.
Right. And so like pain would kick in again, you know, all those kinds of not so fun things. Then that's when I really dived into my mind and my thoughts. Like, what is this? And then when I would get quiet and get still, the pain would go. Then if I got really busy in my head or worrying or stressed, the pain would come. Pain is a big wake up.
So for you, the act of doing was not nearly enough. You were doing the things that you thought maybe should make you feel better. But when you got quiet, you realized that that wasn't the whole formula of just doing the things and hoping to connect. That actually, when you started to do the deeper mindset work to still the mind, that's when you started to feel better.
100%. I used to run a yoga studio for about 10 years. And so, you know, it's what I'm doing for work. I practice yoga, I teach yoga, I'm in it. So it was great during that time.
Yeah.
Had a kid when we left that world. He was about 3 or 4 when we left the yoga world. Yep. And then the pain came back. And I can't practice 6 days a week when I have a kid. It's impossible. I shouldn't say impossible. It's hard.
Yeah.
And that's when I just decided I have to commit to what it was that I felt when I practiced yoga. I must be able to find that off the yoga mat.
Isn't that really the same thing as meditation as well? That we can meditate, find tranquility, find peace, find detachment. But then if we step out of the practice and start yelling at our partner in a reactive state, then we missed the whole point of the practice itself, which is to be able to implement it into real life.
Exactly. Yeah.
So now, would you say that the frequency that you hold most of the time is this frequency of I am consciousness?
Try to.
Okay.
I try to. You know, stepping into that place of the infinite spirit, the divine, the universe, the I am.
Yeah.
Try to hold it. Like, you know, it's not a try, but it's a relinquishing of the ego thought system.
Yep.
So that energy can step in.
So then paint me a picture. Sure. Your husband's pissing you off. All right. He did that thing that you knew was going to get under your skin. Walk me through how you hold what you know now in that moment.
So if I'm reactive, I'm reactive. I don't get mad at myself. It might be a shadow, an unconscious pattern, I'm mad, whatever. So there's a definition of the ego. The ego is simply the mental habit of identifying or labeling. So the minute that I identify that he's doing something wrong or I'm not safe, I'm not safe, I've got a wall up. So there's a point in the mind, many books talk about how the kingdom of heaven is in your mind. So there's a place in my mind where if I'm willing to go there, I can find ease. So my husband's having a minute. Okay, let him have a minute. And if I'm in that place of spirit or unconditional love, then he can't touch me. I'm not defending myself. I'm not angry. He's having a minute. But maybe I don't even have to call it a minute because it's only the ego that labels it. Right? He just is.
So ideally, you address every moment where the ego would want to retaliate, the ego would want to identify something and try to come back to what it is, that it just is. And that is what it is. Now paint me a broader picture. And let's put this into perspective of the world, because this is where ultimately some of my belief systems start to kick in. Because in my journey, I was holding the I am to the best of my capacity.
Right.
Not trying, but sometimes trying.
Sure.
You know, we were chatting before we began about kind of like the spiritual cocktail, where you try all the different things and see which one makes me drunk and high and which one makes me puke and purge, and like which one is actually true transmutation and which one is of service. And I had found out at the end of 2022 that I had a significant experience with some darker spirits, let's call it that. And up until that point, I had no knowledge, no education about that, because I thought that I was holding the frequency of love. I truly thought that that's what it was. And my health was declining significantly. I had very significant suicidal ideations that were not mine, and I knew that. I had never wanted to harm or hurt myself, but then I had these thoughts that were kicking in. I had a lot of nightmares, and this was from some sort of external infiltration. Would it be true that perhaps there was a part of my unconscious that opened up the field? Of course. Was it also true that to make myself only a victim didn't serve me, but then to also not acknowledge that there was something outside of me also didn't feel like that was entirely true? And so this started my quest of, well, is love the most powerful vibration on earth? Or is truth? And so where I stand on that is, ultimately, I think in this dimension, we need to understand truth first. What is not our human truth, but what is the ultimate truth of what is happening on earth? Personally, I think we're experiencing polarity on earth. And in order to experience it, allow it, remove the ego from it, allow it to be processed, then I think we're truly being stewards of what I think this earth is. Not to say that we don't experience love, but I don't think that's the ultimate goal, because then I think we experience forms of bypassing, where we're like, we're looking at what's happening in Gaza, but it's all love, because it's all karma and it's all what's meant to be. We see what's happening with weather manipulation, how everything we have is poisoned around us, and think, oh, that's just a part of my unconscious that created these systems at play. There's some sort of passivity that, in my experience, and what I've seen mirrored in the spiritual community a lot of times, not all the time, of course, starts to kind of create maybe false love, or not my definition of how I would want to experience love, because I feel like it's devoid of truth. So that's my long-winded way of starting to open up this dialogue with you about the difference between divine love in your perspective, and then where that becomes bypassed and how you've navigated that in your journey.
Great question. So a couple things, and I'm a student of A Course in Miracles, which is very similar to Bhagavad Gita, different scriptures out there.
Yep.
And when I say student, I'm a big student. So a couple things about the Course it teaches us, that whoever the creator is, God, essence, whatever word you use, that energy did not create this world.
That energy did not create this world. Okay. Continue.
So that energy,
Yeah.
so the theory or the teaching in that domain of thinking, and just for the listeners to hear, a lot of people have not heard of A Course in Miracles. A Course in Miracles is a big text that was downloaded to the planet back in the 70s. And a lot of teachers, Wayne Dyer, Marianne Williamson, Gabby Bernstein, some of our favorites, they're all students of the Course. Okay. So the Course teaches that God did not create this world. The ego had a part of the mind came up saying, what would it be like to be separate from God?
Okay.
And that what it says is the one crazy, mad idea as to what to be separate, that thought then created the ego, which created this entire world.
So the premise here, just so I'm understanding, is that God did not create this world.
Nope.
This world is basically ego experiencing itself.
You nailed it.
Got it. Okay. I'm with you.
And so the primary energy from us being separate from our creator is guilt, which is the energy that sits in the deepest, deepest, deepest of all unconscious energies, which then would have resulted in what you described that happened to yourself. Got it?
Like the guilt of not doing might have created unconscious behaviors that opened up the field, essentially.
Exactly. Okay. Any guilt at all, like if I don't think I'm pretty, if I don't think I'm enough, if I think any thought of separation, then I'm not connected to the creator.